everybody. Welcome to Outlaw Radio. It is I, of course, the Outlaw Tonight. Hey, everybody. Outlaw Radio, this is episode, I guess it's number 5. And as I mentioned on the live stream last week, I'm not live right now. This is pre-recorded. It is currently just a couple days after my last live stream, and I just wanted to have something up here that went out, while I'm away. I am off doing family stuff, so I won't have the opportunity to come in here to my studio basement and get some things said and done. But with that said, this one is probably going to be pretty short, but I had a couple of things that I wanted to talk about because it's sort of an addendum to what I talked about on my last live stream, where we talked about enough of the negativity and trying to be positive. As a corollary to that, I realized after I'd done the stream, and again, just it's just me talking about my personal self and my personal feelings and shit like that. I realized that I was feeling the way I was about the negativity because I have been feeling very, very sad lately, and not dangerously so. But I've come to realize, and I'm not medically documented this way, but I think it's fair to say that I'm a little depressed sometimes, and that's okay. It's the sort of thing that I promise you, even 6 months, maybe even a year ago, I wouldn't have had the nerve to say out loud. But and I've certainly been accused of it a bunch of times over the course of my life. But yeah, I think that I have been a little depressed lately. Not dangerously so. Not in the I'm going to hurt myself kind of ways, or my life is terrible, because it certainly is not. I'm in many ways happier than I've ever been. But there were a couple of times this week where I realized that I was really emotional. And I chopped up the negativity. I chopped it up, that is. Chopping it up is something else. I chalked it up to a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety that I've been going through. And then I also realized that in many ways I was sad because I was able to acknowledge that I'm having these feelings because a lot of stress and a lot of anxiety has been, I don't want to say taken away because that's not accurate, but I've been given the space to feel it and the space to manage it and to acknowledge that it exists and to acknowledge that let me be clear. I am a man of a generation where bottling up your emotions and pounding them down and telling them to go away and finding ways to cope and put them aside was always told that was the way to handle things and that's the way it should be done. And now, as I get to my age where I've got a lot of more gray in my hair with what's left of it, and I've got a little girl who's dealing with her own emotions at this point in time in the world, I can acknowledge that hey, it's okay to be happy. It's okay to be having a good time. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to be frustrated. And it's also okay to be sad. That doesn't make you weak. It doesn't make you less than. And if you have a day where something sparks a familiar emotion in the back of your head, and you feel the tears welling up, and then suddenly you realize that you've been holding on to something for a while and it just needs to come on out, it's okay to let it out. Thankfully I didn't in the privacy of my own home, because nobody wants to see, my giant 300-pound ass having an ugly cry in public, but I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I got it out of my system. And it's still there, but the worst of it is over, for now. And by sharing that with you and putting it out in the world for people to judge me and laugh at me if they want to or whatever, I'm hoping it gives me the freedom to remember that these feelings are normal, that these feelings are human, and that these feelings are fine. And we're supposed to have them. We're supposed to learn from them, and we're supposed to acknowledge that when things get tough and when things are bothering us and when things are bottled up in here, that if we don't let them out, what bottles in there festers and what festers becomes a problem. And then if you don't deal with this ends up causing problems for other parts of your life, and I don't want those problems anymore. So, with that said, I want to thank the people in my life that were understanding this last week, as I've been pretty sad, and I've been dealing with some stuff, and for their support, and for acknowledging and sharing with me the things that they were sad about and things they were struggling with. Because that's the only way we get through anything. We do it together. No one is an island amongst themselves. No one is the alpha male, alpha wolf who can do it all by themselves, because that shit is bullshit. It's all bullshit. The only way we get through life is by doing it together. So, that's all I had for today. I just wanted to get that stuff off my chest and to share it, because I felt like I didn't leave that all on the table last stream, and I wanted to have something personal to share while I was away. So, with that said, a couple of thank yous. Thank you to all the people that joined the live last week. Again, I'm sorry I'm not doing it live this week. I will be back the following week, which I guess that's going to be, I don't have the date in front of me, but that's fine. I will be back the following week, the following Wednesday, for a live for the next episode. That'll be important. I'll be happy to be there with you on that one. And we'll talk about something else, and I'll put up a topic at that point. Maybe I'll have it figured out to the point where I can actually have people that are chatting with me live, and we can do like a joint stream. Thank you to everybody who checked out my Patreon. Thank you to those of you, and you know who you are, who've actually decided to take a plunge on me and become a patron supporter. I'll have to put a lot of focus into that and make sure it's worth it for you guys for getting on board that train, that night train, if you will. And that's about it for today. If you wouldn't mind checking out my books at the links below, go to the merch page. Holidays are coming on up. If you have people in your life that are big readers or like their wrestling merch or whatever, please consider going and doing that and taking a look at what's there. By the time this comes out, I will have dropped a match from the Vault that would have come out on Monday. So if you haven't seen it yet already, there's a link to myself versus Antonio Scorpio Jr. from 2011, I think, where he and I fought over the Premier Championship Wrestling Heavyweight title. And it was a pretty good match. That was one I'm quite proud of. So that link will be up by now. I hope you check it out, share it out. And I'm working on some other stuff. Like I said, I want to get some Warren Dad blog videos up and going. And I want to do this every week. So I'll just do all the things I always say. Please like and subscribe. God, I feel like Pete Hegseth. What a fucking douche. But yeah, please like and subscribe. Share it out. Tell your friends. Love to you all. And I'll be back soon. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.